The ancient Egyptians didn't build the pyramids, but discovered them over 30,000 years later, and they even told us who the real builders were. Disclaimer, just a theory, entertainment purposes only. The Giza power plant theory explains why they were built: to deliver wireless, free, and clean energy to everyone worldwide. Now that we know why, we're asking, who was the original creator of this energy system? Nikola Tesla, one of the truly most ingenious pioneers of the past decade, proposed a global network of towers that would provide electricity to everyone around the world. Tesla himself was a little obsessed with the pyramids of Egypt and genuinely believed that they served a higher purpose. In fact, his idea of this network of energy towers was based on his studies of the pyramids, which eventually turned into the Giza power plant theory. So were our ancient ancestors also aware of this principle of unlimited wireless energy for everyone? And how would you even use this sky energy if we had it? In Tesla's model, it would work just like radios, Wi-Fi, and cell towers do today. Every home would have a receiver that draws this energy from the atmosphere and into their home. Exactly what is seen in that of the alleged Tartarian Empire, who's said to have made use of this same energy system, which we'll explore in a future video. Don't worry about that. Receiving towers in modern times, sure, but what about 5,000 years ago? Man, if only Egypt had some sort of tall structures everywhere that could act as that contact point for this energy. Oh, obelisks made from a single piece of granite, which, although not directly conductive, contains quartz. And I'ma just let my boy Michio Kaku do the talking here.
These monoliths were made out of granite, and there's some quartz inside the granite, and quartz has some rather interesting properties. If I take quartz crystal and I squeeze it, I can generate electricity. Now, some people believe that the obelisks are like lightning rods that absorb electrical energy from the heavens.
And it's been found that these obelisks were likely also capped with a conductive metal called electrum, which would have been able to receive electric currents. But no, wait, hold up. If the Egyptians really did use electricity, they should have evidence of that everywhere. That's not exactly something that you can hide. Oh, but they might, like in their famous Dendera light carving, which features what looks like a giant light bulb being held up, which no one has yet been able to explain. Or these hieroglyphs depicting a series of wires connected to what look like batteries? Of course, these are strictly speculation, but these carvings really do exist. And what about the pyramids themselves? Never mind there not being a single hieroglyph or record of their construction, which there isn't. Why are there no records of them actually using the pyramids for energy? That's because this theory suggests the Egyptians never built the pyramids. They found them. Built by another past civilization and discovered after having been dormant for tens of thousands of years. Pyramids are deemed to be at most 4,500 years old, but this is just a guess. You can't even accurately carbon date limestone or granite. Radiocarbon dating is a process that uses the half-life of carbon to find out how old something is, and contrary to popular belief, is actually pretty accurate. But it only works on things with carbon in them, like wood or bones, not rocks. The age of the pyramids was straight up guessed through historical cross-referencing as well as carbon dating stuff like wood inside the pyramids or the mortar between the bricks, which are pretty rough guesses at best. On top of that, the Egyptians had records of everything they did, from fishing to farming, but not a single record of them building the pyramids, the greatest achievement of their civilization. That's like climbing Mount Everest and then writing a book about what you had for breakfast a year ago. The Google debunkers love bringing up this. The Diary of Merer, a papyrus script recovered in 2013 that actually mentions the construction of the pyramids? Not really. This script only outlined the process of adding limestone casing stones to the outside of the pyramid, which I don't think anyone argues the Egyptians didn't do. Not the actual construction of the core of the pyramid, which is still nowhere to be found, so nice try. Suggesting they might have not actually built the pyramids, but discovered them from much longer ago, built by a civilization far more advanced than we could have ever imagined. Even the Egyptians themselves have records that trace their lineage of pharaohs back 30,000 years, to which we dismiss as mythology. To this day, the Edfu Temple in Egypt tells a story on its walls of a previous civilization that was, can you guess? Washed away by global flood. And even the great Greek philosopher Plato, another revered genius of his time, mentions this same island of the gods in his work, which has come to be known as Atlantis, said to exist over 30,000 years ago, and may have been the ones who actually built the pyramids as an ancient source of energy within their civilization. That got washed away and destroyed by global cataclysmic floods, only for the Egyptians to rediscover thousands of years later. But that we'll have to save for another time, because the lost city of Atlantis is another one of those stories we see repeated everywhere